and welcome back to another episode of Three Word Interviews. This week we're joined by Andrew Bird. So I briefly explained the rules to you before you got here.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
But if you want to go ahead and pick your 3 words.
All right.
Obviously, it's now down to the viewers to guess what them words are. Do you want to tell the viewers what they're going to win?
2 free tickets to a tour date. My tour dates will be up soon. You can choose one that's near you. And if none of them are near you, then you're gonna have to drive.
Well, obviously, the last time we saw you here was almost a year ago now. So I'm going to put a link, obviously, to the last interview, so we don't have to. So if anyone wants to find out how you got into comedy, all that kind of stuff, they can.
Yeah, it's still the same how I got into comedy.
But you were just going or just starting your Ha Ha Time tour.
Yeah, I forgot that was the title. I was ashamed of it then. I'm still ashamed of it now. But yeah, I was just starting it then. Yeah.
So how did it all go?
All of them went well. They were all good. I recorded the last show, Northampton, in the room where I first ever saw stand-up 2 days before my 18th, and it's still a comedy club, and it's a studio room in the theatre, and I recorded that show, so that's on YouTube, the whole show. So that was, it's one of them where it meant a lot to me, nothing to anyone else in the audience, but I think, in stand-up, it's quite, you've never got anything tangible to show for anything. Tangible is definitely not one of the words, because I couldn't say it properly. You've got nothing to show for anything you've done, really, unless you record something. So I've finally done that. So that whole show's on YouTube. The tour went well, and this one, I've already written nearly all of it, and it's not until the autumn. So I think this one will be even better. Nice.
Have you got a name for the tour yet?
Yeah, Invincible.
Okay.
Which is a bit better in Ha Ha Time, but only marginal.
And what's your reasons behind the name then? How do you come up with that?
I spent a day in a hotel room pacing around, furious, and I text somebody who kept texting me some ideas, and they were awful. I spent a day. It's one of the worst. Some of the names for tours are terrible, and you slag them off, and then you got to do your own and go, oh yeah, it's hard, isn't it? So yeah, it's really hard, but that took me about a day and a half. That.
Now, you obviously speak about your family or reference your family in your comedy. Do they enjoy being the subject of some of the jokes
That's why I used to talk about my mum a lot more, but I don't so much now. My wife, a lot of people, I forget that I talk about her that much on stage, and then when people meet her, they say to her, "Oh yeah, you're not as bad as you seem." She is, but she often says things far funnier than me, so she should be in it a lot more. But she doesn't. There was once where I did say a bit, and she went, "You could have consulted me on that before you just announced it on stage." And she was in the room, and it was quite new. And looking back on it, I thought, oh yeah, if you said that in any other situation, it'd be pretty inappropriate. I mean, it's on YouTube now, that bit, so I can say it was a bit about when I was at the end of the intercourse where you're still connected, and she sneezed and my penis shot out of her, which is about as personal as it can get. But when it's that funny, your comedian brain sort of goes, well, I've got to tell that. There's no way I can't tell that.
So obviously you mentioned sneezing as part of one of them stories. Coronavirus.
Yes.
It's everywhere at the moment. How is that? How are you finding that's affecting comedy?
I found it amazing, the amount of when you look at it now, the amount of comedians making sort of quite flippant, ill-informed jokes on Facebook, and it's like, I don't know why you're joking. Of all the people, we are going to be affected by this the most. We're self-employed people that rely on groups and gatherings of people. So at first it was it's just recent. I reckon it's literally the last week. You can feel and sense people thinking, should we even be here? And just because comedians are on Facebook all the time. discussing stuff. So they're all sort of, going on about, well, this gig's gone, that gig's gone. And they're going to be, even the government's going to say, I think it isn't it 500 and above.
Yeah,
have got to be pulled. So I've cancelled my arena tour immediately. I'm not going to do the O2 now.
Fair enough. Just stick to the
But even the gigs under that are gonna, people are just quite fairly, I can't blame them.
Yeah,
are gonna think, well, I don't know if I want to be in a room with 100 people at the moment.
Yeah, because I mean it's affected everyone. The fact that they've cancelled Melbourne Comedy Festival, Edinburgh Fringe are looking at their options.
I don't know how they can not.
Obviously we've got Brighton Fringe. Don't know what's going to happen with that yet.
Yeah.
So.
Well, Edinburgh, I mean, most people, you're not going to get more than 5 people in the audience anyway, so it'd probably be all right.
Yeah.
Just go ahead. Be fine.
But then you mentioned, obviously, comedians still talking about it on social media in terms of joking. Do you find that it's actually a godsend, the fact we don't have to talk about Brexit anymore?
Brexit seems like a lovely, fond, fluffy memory now compared to this. I would happily be talking about Brexit. No. This is I'm really failing to find any humour in coronavirus whatsoever. Yeah. I find it. I don't want to. I'll get slagged off for saying this. I don't give a shit. I am a vegan. Don't care. Slag me off. I don't know why that's acceptable. You don't eat stuff, and people hate you for it. But I mean, look what's happening now. This has come from people eating bats.
Yeah.
And all sorts of shit. There's never going to be a worldwide pandemic that's going to bring the economy to a standstill because someone's sourcing and eating carrots. I think that's a fact. I just don't. It's funny the way that we first responded to it now. It's not funny now. At the time, it was quite funny that you had the two composing images of China in lockdown and people being sprayed down and people in quarantine. And England, our reaction was pretty much just putting photos of bottles of Corona on Facebook.
Yeah,
that was about the extent of it, which was funny for about a week. It doesn't seem so funny now.
No,
I don't think. But you could, like the gigs last night and the last couple of days. It was just this weird atmosphere, and you have to mention it, but they don't want to talk about it. And in the green room, the comedians, we even said how none of us want to talk about it. But the conversation just keeps coming back to it.
Yeah.
After the interval, you could sense them all sat down going, well, we all just talked about it again for the whole interval.
Yeah.
And then the next comedian walks on and goes, coronavirus. And everyone's like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fine. It's pretty sinister. It's I'm finding it quite hard to find anything funny in it because, everything's going to come to a standstill with gigs.
Definitely.
We're self-employed. So,
Now, I did put on Facebook, well, on our social media actually, if anyone had any questions for you. We got one on Facebook saying, if you could bring back any show and host it, what would it be?
I'd bring back a lot of panel shows that went, just not even host them, just so I can do warm-up on them again.
Yeah. What would you like? Never mind the Buzzcocks? And
that would probably be the first. Yeah, I'll bring that back. Because there's no music panel shows at the moment, is there? There's no music comedy panel show.
No, there isn't.
There's enough sports ones. Bring back Buzzcocks.
Yeah.
And I'd host that. Do away with the guest host element that happened for a while. That's what killed it off. So I'd host that and bring that back. Yeah.
Yeah. Very popular show.
Dressed as a lumberjack, I think.
Now over to Twitter. Someone wants to know: do you have any pre-show rituals?
I mean, I sense that people want you to get into the minutiae of stuff here and be very dull on some level. And I have actually got a couple of ones that I don't know why this is, but I have to have my shoelaces need to be tight. I can't. Generally in life, I find if I can feel a slightly loose shoelace, I can't focus. But on stage, just before I go on, I do my laces up like a football player, which is a weird thing to do just as you're about to walk on. And I've taken to cleaning my teeth before I go on. I don't know what that is, but one that I had when I was doing supports on tour, and you get a proper dressing room.
Yeah.
I tell you, the one I love the most, I was having literally minutes before walking on. I was having a full shower.
No way.
Oh, bloody lovely. Tell ya. full shower, walk on. You know that sort of just out of the shower feel where you've got that lovely zing. Oh, it's lovely. So it's gone from literally, this is in the last year or so. I never had anything, and it's gone to checking my shoelaces, cleaning my teeth, full shower, eating, and crippling self-doubt. That's a little ritual I like to just chuck in the mix, just minutes before going on.
Why not?
Literally seconds. Just do that. Just make sure I doubt everything I've ever done.
Yep.
Just before I go on. It's a good one. Yeah.
And then I took one from Instagram as well. Someone to know, who would you recommend as an up-and-coming comedian?
I'm trying to think now, because if I say someone, they might not consider themselves up and coming, and that would be a massive slam. I had up and coming as my description until only a few years ago.
Oh, really?
So yeah, I had to say to someone, you can't have that on. You can't be going. There's a certain amount of years you've been going. You can't be up and coming. You've been and gone.
Yeah.
One who I hang on. Who have I seen recently? Mike Cox. I don't think you could consider him up and coming.
Right.
I think he's been around a little while now, but he's brilliant. Hang on, let me try and think of someone a bit newer. I did last night, literally in Brighton, Crater. I gigged with Simon Wozniak.
Okay.
He's very good. He's really, really funny and weirdly angry at such a young age, which I'm a big fan of. Yeah, Simon Wozniak's very, very good. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, go search them on YouTube or Facebook or socials.
But then I'm still up and coming on some levels. Come and see me. I don't think I've arrived yet. Yeah.
Fair enough. I mean, yeah, you people have probably seen you, just not realised. Like all the warm-up gigs that you do and TV shows and everything.
Yeah. Well, thanks for that, because I thought you meant like actually seeing me do a gig.
Oh no.
And not realise this even happened. Not realise that was comedy.
Yeah.
That's happened. Yeah.
Our last question is, what's next? Obviously, you mentioned the tour. What else are you working on or doing?
I am going to become a sinister philanthropist lumberjack, is what I'm going to become. Because I'm going to have to do something with the coronavirus.
Yeah.
That's the only job I can think I could probably do. I think lumberjack. Yeah. I've got the tour coming up in. That starts in October. Starts the day before my 40th. So I've just got that second tour in just before that. So I've got that coming up. I've written a sitcom that is because I'm a comedian breathing air. So I've written a sitcom. So that is due to be rejected soon. So I look forward to never seeing the light of day. You know, if you want to tweet me or Facebook me, I could send you a photo of it on my laptop. Yeah, but no, I've got I'm doing warm up for what I'm looking forward to, Not Going Out, Lee Mack's sitcom. I'm doing the warm up for that. I saw the I'd seen it, the Sports Relief video of him on Line of Duty. I saw that just last night. Oh, sweet Jesus, you got to watch that. That is phenomenally funny. That Lee Mack's well funny. That's really funny. So I'm looking forward to that, doing the warm up for that, and no doubt finding out who from the BBC is there and badgering the shit out of them with my sitcom.
Yeah,
that is coming up to not see the light of day, because it's quite male heavy. The cast of it, so it's not happening. Not going to happen. There's no diversity in it whatsoever.
Yeah,
it's not going to happen.
Well, we'll link it, but when it does go out, we'll link it back to this interview and be like,
yeah,
prove you wrong.
yeah, that will look good. I'll be happily proved wrong with that bad boy. but yeah. So I've got the tour in October and November, and I'm doing all the same venues and a couple of ones I didn't do before. So I'm doing Brighton again, same room, studio room at Comedia. It's a great room, and doing Dublin again, but this time doing Farnham. But this time I've added that I didn't do, and no one really does. I'm doing Stornoway. Do you know where that is?
Nope.
No, Stornoway. I only know where it is because it's that, you know when you see the weather,
yeah,
right at the top above Scotland, a little island off Scotland,
right.
And every time I see that weather, and it's got the general places, you know, the main ones, Cardiff, Dublin, London, all of them, and it's got St Helier,
Yeah.
Helier for Jersey, Guernsey, one of them. Guernsey.
Can't comment because I don't want to get it
Jersey,
right.
one of them. I always look at that and go, I've done a gig at every single one of them places on the weather map except Stornoway. So I
Right.
purposely put a tour date in at Stornoway. Even if one person turns up, I've done Stornoway, and basically I'm doing a tour date to complete the weather map. So I'm doing Stornoway. So if you're in Stornoway, for the love of God, come to that gig. I know I haven't got massive profile in Stornoway, but I'm going to build on it. I'm going to become the name in Stornoway. And come on, what else is happening in Stornoway on a Saturday night? There can't be a lot, can there? Surely.
Can't be.
I don't know how big it is. And they ain't going to come now. I've just slagged it off. Well, anyway, see you in Stornoway.
But yeah, thanks again for coming down. We really appreciate it.
Good to see you.
Obviously, all of the details are going to be down below, all your social media, so people can check out your tour. All them people in Stornoway, you know where to
Oh, you know where to go.
get tickets. But yeah, we'll link all that below, as well as the interview we did with you before last time you came down. But yeah, until next time, we'll see you then.